let's just jump into it. Under Armour's most recent fiscal report provided insight into another difficult moment for the brand. Under Armour always feels to be in transition, and with Kevin Plank back at the helm, he acknowledged that. And he did so in their recent conference call. The link is on the site. You guys can click it and go through and look at that link. In that discussion, he talks about, he provides context around where Under Armour needs to repair itself. And they need to repair themselves in every aspect of the business. From DTC to wholesale, Under Armour remains a discount brand. Now, this diminishes margins and it reduces the ability to create and market innovative product and find where it can best serve the athlete in the business. Now, you're looking at a picture here of Sharon Lochte, and those are Under Armour running shoes. And if you notice, it's got that big full stack of midsole, outsole combination. But even as you have an athlete like Sharon Lochte, right, where she's winning marathons and she's doing fantastic work in Under Armour gear, Under Armour remains in a place away from runners. So when you think about Under Armour, you don't think about running. You think about Protect This House football, right? Their casual creations aren't translating into sales for the brand. Now, this is happening although Under Armour has a very good array of products. Now, contrary to what a lot of people think, Under Armour has some great casual gear. And it should be translating into casual wear, but it's not. The brand is in this really difficult position in an unstable marketplace. All right? Now, when you see a brand like Nike that's facing headwinds, then you automatically understand that every brand is facing some headwinds. Now, granted, Adidas had a better report than previously mentioned, but after a few down, I think anytime people get excited about the growth of a company, they have to recognize that growth is going to be based on a year-over-year basis where it's compared against the previous year. The previous year was bad, and then the company has a decent year. That can show a considerable amount of growth. We have to be careful and nuanced when discussing these things. So, Nike is facing headwinds, but Nike, the fortunes of that company, the swoosh, it can change at a moment's notice and everything can take off again. Under Armour is a very, very slow burn. Now, 4 years ago, Under Armour introduced what was called their Focus Performer, and they introduced the Dark Sky Distance team, right? And that program is what led to Sharon Lochte winning these victories in Under Armour gear. Now, this weekend, Arch, my site, was a media member at the Ed Murphey Classic, which is a Puma American Track League professional meet. Under Armour's investment into middle distance, and field events was very evident at this professional track meet. It was very evident. The UA logo was everywhere. And me just saying that probably doesn't have the same effect. So I'm going to cut in here and show you in one event, the 800 meter final competition, which included an Olympians, the 800 meter final event in the Puma American Track League at the Ed Murphey. You know what? Here is that video. And I want you to look at the number of sponsored runners that made it to the final and what gear they are wearing. So in the process of writing this article, I remembered, I was like, wait a minute, I have the perfect explanation for what's happening with Under Armour at the professional level and how they are so prominent at the professional level, but that is not trickling down. So in the process of reading this article, you'll notice I'm putting the number next to each logo as it pops up as each athlete is introduced. So you're going to have a Hoka, you're going to have, we've already started, we had Puma, we already had Under Armour. and you're going to continuously see Under Armour pop up. And this is profound for one reason. Under Armour isn't typically associated with track and field and running. Now, that's not saying that they haven't been there and they haven't been there for a long time. They did have a huge problem when they were sponsoring UCLA, where the athletes would only wear the Nike shoes and they would not wear the Under Armour product. But if you notice here, you've only got one swoosh athlete so far. And this speaks towards another discussion point that we are all kind of looking at in regard to Nike. Hardly any of these athletes are Nike athletes. Now, the last guy that comes up when we get to that point, he's going to be Nike, and he's probably the most prominent athlete in this event. But if you notice, Under Armour is at 4 finalists in this 800-meter competition at the Puma American Track League. There's Under Armour at 5. So we get the final athlete coming up, and that's a Nike athlete. Now, he has the biggest personality. Nike had 2 athletes in this event, but that speaks towards the fact that Nike isn't investing as much as they used to in track and field. They do have the major talents, but not quite the people that we are used to. There's an opportunity there, but it's not trickling down from the professional ranks to high school. Now, in this video, you see clearly Under Armour has a ton of athletes sponsored in this event. They're either sponsored or they're wearing the kits and they're gaining some type of support from Under Armour. That's a big deal. Now, when I wrote the post that you see over here to the side about UA Dark Sky Distance Team, I ended it with this comment. I think the Dark Sky Distance Team is unlike anything Under Armour has done on the marketing side of the business. It's not a major play. It's the small steps needed to correct problems for the company. Now, for Under Armour, any investment is major because the company is losing ground across all categories. But as you recognize the abundance of Under Armour kits in the event, all of those kits were seen by an average crowd. So the Puma American Track League misses on marketing in several aspects. Field events in track and field aren't given enough coverage, although there are extensive opportunities for young athletes there, and where there is opportunity, Under Armour should be serving. Now, I can go to my YouTube here, which is going to be slow because I'm doing a few different things, and I'll go to my channel, and I'm going to go to videos and shorts. And I did the entire high jump competition, and we hate when we get all of this noise and ads, but hey, that's how we earn revenue on content. There was not one athlete wearing Under Armour in the high jump competition, but more importantly, you look at the stands back there, there's no one in the stands, and that sucked because this was a great high jump competition. Great. So if you want to watch this competition, go to the YouTube station. It'll be linked in this video as well. But I bring this up because I'm explaining that Under Armour needs to be where people aren't being served. Now, why is that important? The running events at the Ed Murphey, they garnered considerable engagement on social media, and the YouTube live stream is right around 19,000, 20,000 views. But this does not help Under Armour. It helps Puma because Puma is the event sponsor. The cat logo is all over the place at the event. So me still kind of seeing Under Armour in attendance on these athletes, it was a brand that, you know, is taking their performance roots seriously. And I am very critical about brands not utilizing performance to grow across different categories. Now, unfortunately, the professional level for Under Armour, it doesn't have a trickle-down effect. And I'm just, letting this 800-meter play out and run. Sponsoring and supporting track and field athletes is important. It's extremely important because the sport itself is extremely fractured. When distance runners think of running shoes, not talking about the pros, I'm talking about everyday people like us. We don't think of Under Armour as a distance running shoe. It doesn't matter that we see Sharon Lochte in this shoe or the Velocity is a great running shoe. with P-backs and foam, right? This foam. It doesn't matter that Under Armour's created this product. Even with the massive number of improvements in the things that they are creating, it doesn't really matter. In every sport, Under Armour is coming off the bench. How does a brand move from a 6-man role into the starting 5, particularly in track and field? I say it's in grassroots. Track and field at the youth level offers a niche opportunity which requires a small investment which could pay incredible dividends. Under Armour currently drops a ton of time and money and effort into basketball grassroots. But that market is completely owned by Nike and Adidas. Right now, track is controlled by Nike by default, while the swoosh does offer a national meet, and they're the backbone of USA Track and Field. There isn't any local, regional investment by Nike in different places throughout the South. I've been to events all year, and Nike has the benefit of young athletes simply buying what is more readily available and familiar. Now, since those young athletes wear Jordan and Nike off the track, they wear it on the track. But this is the thing. Athletes have long memories. What's done for them early in their career sticks with them as they grow into adulthood. Kevin Plank is attempting to navigate the industry from the top down. They're doing a great job of sponsoring these professional runners. I can't knock that. But that's a top-down approach. Listen to this analogy. Navigation starts from the ports and small waterways before a ship reaches the deep waters of the ocean. For Under Armour to become the brand it aspires to be, the company will need to develop regional strategies for youth athletes. Now, seeing the pros rocking UA kits was an eye-opener. That was awesome. But ultimately, it's akin to building a ship in the ocean and setting sail, as opposed to building a ship in dry dock where everyone can see the progress. That's it. Hopefully you get what I'm saying here. This is really a marketing and business discussion. Under Armour is doing fantastic work. We see all of the athletes that are being sponsored. We know that people are winning events in Under Armour. But if they take a more nuanced approach to youth athletics, they can build the relationship needed to create fans of the brand later. That's not going to happen in basketball. Basketball is Nike. I don't care how many people get shoes with brands outside of Nike. Basketball is Nike and Adidas. That's it. I'll see you guys on the next one. If you have questions about what I'm doing here, if you want to look at all of the different things that I've posted, go in, check it out. I'll see you guys on the next one. Hope everybody's having a fantastic week. Peace.